Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here. Today we'll be reading a new Jeff the Killer love story. It is called Insanity in Love, written by Kim. I'll leave a link to her story in the description box below. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. Still nothing found. We urge the residents of the town to lock all doors and windows. Follow the 7 p.m. curfew. As said before, we're on the lookout for the go-to-sleep killer, as he is reported to be wearing a white hoodie and black pants. The reporter's voice was silenced by a click by the remote. Okay, that's enough for the news today. Now, hurry up and finish your breakfast, unless you want to be late for school. Aurora sighed as she slowly ate the last bite of her pancake. I don't want to go back to school, she moaned. Her mother laughed at her daughter's reaction and took the plate and placed it in the sink, grabbing her car keys from the counter and giving her daughter a pat on the back. Come on, kiddo. It's your first day back of your junior year. Plus, you get to see Chloe again. Wasn't she away for the whole summer? Yeah, she was. Aurora grabbed her bag along from the chair beside her mom, following her mom outside the door and into the car. She had to admit she was pretty psyched to see Chloe again. Chloe spent her summer visiting family in London. When Chloe told her that, she couldn't help but feel a bit sad, even though they end up FaceTiming every day, but still sucked not being able to physically spend time with her best friend. We're here, her mother sing-songed as her school appeared in her vision. Aurora said a quick goodbye to her mom before getting out of the car and entering the halls of the school. Gathering into the school quickly, Aurora decided to sit on the table on a bench outside while waiting for the bell to ring. She scrolled through her Instagram feed as she heard familiar high-pitched screech of her best friend, Aurora. Chloe quickly engulfed the girl in a massive hug, her thick hair making it nearly impossible, as the black hair girl tried to breathe. Needed to breath, Aurora pushed her best friend gently away and gasping for air once she was free. Chloe, I love you, but you gotta stop hugging me like that. Oops, sorry, Chloe giggled at her friend's reaction. Aurora noticed that she was acting giddy than usual. She wanted to believe it because they're finally reunited, but she knew her best friend well enough to know that wasn't the case. Okay, spill. Chloe sat down beside Aurora and explained excitedly for what she was going to say. Well, since you asked, she let out another set of giggles. Chloe brushed her blonde hair out of her face, and a serious look was spread across her face. You heard about the serial killer go to sleep, right? Yeah, of course I have. He's been all over the news right now, ha. Well, I think that Chloe leaned closer towards Aurora and making sure that no one could hear her when she was about to say, the killer spreading havoc is in our town, exactly. Aurora threw at her friend a confused look as she looked like she didn't finish her sentence. Go on. Jeff the killer. Aurora couldn't help but laugh at her friend's theory. Come on, that was a fictional character. Causing murders in their own town? Sure, they're technically similar, but if there's anything, it could probably be a cosplay. Oh, come on, Aurora. You can't look at me like that and tell me it's not true. Chloe pouted, upset with the reaction of her friend giving her. I'm sorry. Aurora's laughter died down. But I will If Jeff is a fictional character, he's not real. Oh, so you think so? How can you be sure that he's not real? The world is full of mysteries. Aurora sighed once again. She knew her friend was obsessed with the creepypasta. She couldn't blame her, though. She used to think that they were real, too. But in the end, you'll have to face reality, that they're not real. Chloe, they're fictional characters that were made to scare people. I have to say it, but it's possibly just some guy trying to recreate Jeff the Killer's killings. Chloe huffed in defeat. I guess you're right. You still set up for our sleepover tonight? Aurora smiled and for the change of subject. She hated arguing with Chloe like that, but she had to make her face reality sometimes. You bet. You remembered the sound of the jarring of the bell startled both of them and ended up interrupting their conversation. The two of them frowned, not wanting to go their separate ways. I'll bring snacks, you know. Chloe finished Aurora's sentence with a smile, waving goodbye to her friend, then turning to walk away. Aurora smiled back before walking in the opposite direction to her least favorite class, math. Time skip. Cleo. Hey, what time should I come over? Like around 5, but feel free to come sooner if you want. Cleo. Okay. Aurora put her phone away back in her back pocket and continued walking home. Her mom was supposed to pick her up, but the news of the killer scared her enough into wanting to buy a security system, which was understandable. She just wished her mom would have picked her up before going out. Her house was in walking distance, but it was pretty far. The black-haired girl couldn't help but feel relieved by the knowledge of the shortcut through the woods. The woods seriously creeped her out, but she'd rather cut through it than take her usually 40-minute route. Compared to other days, Aurora had to admit the forest felt rather calming today, which was surprising since she normally sprinted through the trees, terrified of what might be lurking in the shadows. But then again, the last time she was been in the woods when she was in middle school. Halfway through the forest, Aurora stumbled upon another teen. He appeared to be distressed, muttering about something about how some bitch threw his knife in a bush. She shrugged it off, thinking it was some guy from her school. That didn't stop Aurora from inquiring her presence, though. She didn't want to judge a book by a cover, but the guy seems off. Just as she grew near to the distant figure, she couldn't help but notice how familiar his features were. Pale, leathery skin, black orbs, which was blinded by a hoodie he sported, and most importantly, there were blood. She didn't notice it from afar, but she made a completely halt at the blood off splatter of graphic. Now that she was only a few meters away from the stranger, she couldn't help but think that it was actually Jeff the killer. Aurora tried to stay calm and rolled her eyes at her foolish thought. Halloween's close by anyway. Peeking at the stranger beside her, she felt idiotic for using that as an example. Like, in 2 months? The stranger shot up suddenly, causing Aurora to jump a little. Her heart was racing as the guy slowly turned towards her, facing her. 2 simple words there. The two simply stood there. Aurora didn't know who the guy was looking. Didn't like the guy how he's looking at her. His eyes looked at her up and down, like a predator eyeing its prey. He was waiting for her to make the first move. Aurora knew she should have run. Who knew this guy might be up to, especially if he's really the infamous killer. But she stood there, frozen in place, too afraid to move. Noticing the dangerous man only smiled bigger. However, his smile quickly faltered, realizing that his precious knife was lost somewhere in the bushes. Because some psycho bitch decided to toy with him. Him, Jeff the killer. He scoffed at the thought. About the earlier encounter, Jeff eyed the scared girl in front of him, rolling his eyes when she still hadn't moved. Well, Jeff spat out. If you want to get your throat slit, I suggest you hurry your ass out of here. Jeff was about to snap at her right as he finished his sentence. The girl was gone in a flash. Unknown to her that she left a piece of paper behind. Jeff looked down at the folded piece of paper. He picked it up and opened it, scanning his eyes in the information that filled it. The bitch dropped her schedule. Jeff couldn't help but let out a laugh. He honestly planned on letting the girl live, seeing how he didn't have his trusty knife to aid him in a kill, but this looked like the universe had other plans stored for her. The insane killer laughed manically, but he couldn't believe his luck. He hurried to return to his search for his knife, excited for what was about to happen later on tonight. Hey guys, I'm glad you guys made it to the end of the video. I am sorry for the noise you guys heard in the background of my recording. I kind of forgot to turn off my fan. I'm so sorry about that, since it's like literally 90 degrees in my house, and the air conditioning was temporarily disconnected. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, I'm making this quick announcement that I'll be posting more videos soon and update a new schedule for new videos release. Also, I have bad news for certain stories I have selected to read on my channel. They have been discontinued by their authors, or even right out been deleted. So I'm sorry about that. I'll make sure that this one is notified to be discontinued, or contact the author if they're planning to continue. So don't worry if this story is going to be like only chapter 1 like several others, since they've been discontinued by their authors, which I really hate to see very good creepypasta fanfictions stop. It's so sad. Anyway, for anyone who has any of their stories wishing to be read on my channel, please contact me through the community tab one way or another, or leave it in the comments box below so I could see if you guys have any new stories for me to read, since the list I have is becoming very short recently. Until then, bye guys!